here I am
You
in
were
the.
on vacation, so you should be relaxed. You should be good.
I was relaxed. I was ready to get off the boat,
Uh-huh.
relax, talk about Christy Noem's husband's prosthetic tits. I
Of
was
course.
really excited. I was like, okay, it looks like
It
Tom.
was not so much the tits, but the nipples pointing in two different directions that bothered me the
Which,
most. I'm like, if you're doing it, do it right.
honestly, sometimes that's me. So like, I get
True.
it.
I mean,
I
here, true. Mine are in a different position, two different positions, pointing to two different directions, and I have to adjust them. But I'm saying, if you're doing cosplay, do it right.
I was so excited to just talk about bullshit with my brother.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got off the boat and I actually got a text message from our dear
Mm-hmm.
friend, Jackie Santashal. She is one half
Mm-hmm.
of We Say What podcast. She's also
Mm-hmm.
known as Kind. I always forget her podcast, her Instagram handle, but I apologize, Jackie. It's like kind hearts, smart minds, I
Yeah.
think. And she messaged me and she said, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm just
Yeah.
getting off the boat." And she said, "You didn't see the message, or you
Message.
didn't see
She's
the."
like, this is a crisis. Jackie was like, this is a crisis, Noor.
She
What are
was
you doing?
she
What are
was like,
you doing
"What?"
going on a vacation during
Yeah,
this time?
I was like, "What?" And so it was very upsetting. But okay, everybody was like dropping their emergency podcast, and I was like, "I'm on a plane. I can't do anything
Mm-hmm.
right now." And
Mm-hmm.
then I was like, "Okay, I'll talk about it." And you're in luck because I got vertigo yesterday. So I was like, I
Yeah.
got vertigo, and then I was like, let me scream. And you actually said you want a face to scream at.
Well, I knew that this was something that needed an audience. Because I knew
Otherwise,
that you would be talking about it a little later than everybody else. You would have the most information because all of the other stories that come secondary, tertiary stories would have come out. And you would have opinions about other people's opinions.
well,
So
well,
I knew that this was going to get into a place where, the blood pressure was going to be high. And I
through
was
the
like,
roof.
you know what? Let me offer myself as the scapegoat.
Well, the other thing also that happened is that yes, all of the above, that is
Hmm.
absolutely accurate. But the other thing is that I was like, okay, if I do a solo episode, I had, because I'm a psychopath, I was gonna do like an NPR style deep dive on all these people. I was like, we're gonna dig into Amanda Batula's parents' voter registration, which by the way I did. So like it was gonna be that kind of a deep dive. And I was like,
It's
we
not
don't
even Virgo season.
it's not. And you know what else I found out? I don't know if you saw it in my Instagram stories, but I
Mm-hmm.
was watching videos of Amanda all the time she's been on lying about like, oh, I wouldn't touch my castmates with a 10-foot pole. And I started looking at her face and I figured out Amanda's tell of
Tell.
like
I
when
know.
she
I saw
lies.
that.
And so yeah,
No,
it's
you
not
just
Virgo
did that.
season.
You just did it.
Yeah, Patreon exclusive. Patreon exclusive. This is what she does. She goes like,
Hmm.
Andy's like, when did you guys move out? And she was like, October, November. And he's like, so before BravoCon? And she goes, yep, right before BravoCon. And then they're
Hmm.
like, are you gonna hook up with one of your castmates? She's like, no. And she does this pursing mouth, eye roll, deep blink. And I've been
It's
watching it in
very,
all
it's
these.
very, it's very fake. It's not something that you see on the TV show. It's something
No.
that she does only in interviews when one on one when she's talking
Uh-huh.
about these
And
things.
I had seen her make that face previously when it came to Lindsay. And so I was like, oh,
Mm,
I think I know that face. And then I
yeah.
started dissecting it. So yeah, I went full Virgo psychopath.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was
Of
like, I should
course.
talk to somebody else about, of course, as I would. I was like, I need to talk to somebody else about it. And I was just so happy that it could be you because, people
Aww.
have been clamoring. They're
Aww.
like, where's Aarti? And I'm always like, she has a real job.
No, she doesn't.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Breaking news. Earth
Breaking,
is fired at the ripe old age of 50.
breaking news. Not
Breaking
only
news.
federal employees are out of work in the DMV area.
Even city too. So yeah. Yeah, Aarti got fired and Aarti went through a depression spiral, and
You
it's
sure
only now
did.
that the sun coming out that Aarti is coming out to play.
Thank God. Okay,
Yeah.
these rumors. Okay, this episode is going to be all about the summer house stuff. I will say
Mhm.
full disclosure, I've only watched clips of last week and this week's episode. I haven't watched all of it because I just haven't had time to. I do know the
You
TLDR
had time for
version.
vacation,
I had
family.
time on vacation. I know. My kids are getting older and now they like want to spend time with me.
Oh wow, look at that. Mine just said, leave me alone. This is spring break, and she has spent a good. The only time she wants to spend time with me is when I she needs me to drive her someplace.
Mm.
But she's also going to get her permit soon, and then she won't even need me with that.
Does she seem interested in driving?
Hmm.
Okay.
Just so she doesn't need me anymore.
Wow. What a bitch. Just kidding.
Plus, she doesn't like the way I drive. She's like, "You drive like you're in India."
Well, that's true.
Uh,
That is
no,
true. That is accurate. That is right. Okay.
I did learn to drive in India, so
So that's it. That is
sorry.
what it is. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Sorry that you hate immigrants, Maya. You know what's so funny?
14th Amendment, what?
Yeah. By the way, this is such a detour. You know how like Ben and Ronnie's thing with Padma Lakshmi is that she's always making fun of Gail. Like they're
Mhm.
always doing like
She's
she's
Maya
always
is my
bullying
Gail.
everyone.
Maya is my Gail.
But you know who? But
You
you
are
know,
also my Gail.
no, no. But I'm your Padma
Basically,
because I'm
I'm
always
Padma Lakshmi, is all I'm saying.
no. You're saying that you're always picking on me and Maya. Is that what you're
No,
saying,
no,
or
no,
is it
no,
the
no,
other
no,
way
no,
around?
no.
Oh yeah. So we're your Padma
Well,
and you're our Gail.
oh, it's true. That's true. I am picking
But
on you.
here's the thing you need to know about
I'm
Padma.
wearing printed.
You are wearing print like Gail would.
Mhm.
Although that print and that color does look really lovely on you.
Thank you.
You're really brave for wearing that print.
Fuck you.
No, but here's the thing about Padma is that she has her own Padma, who is just her daughter Krishna.
Mhm.
She's constantly bullying her all the
So
time.
Krishna is, I think, a year younger than Maya or a few months younger than Maya. And
Yeah.
it's constant. She's truly my bully right now. She's truly my bully right now. I told her too that, do you realize that you're bullying me? And she said, well, I'm not allowed to bully anybody else at school or anywhere else. I might as well bully you. She's like, I need to get it out of my system.
You should tell her about Wes Wilson. You're like,
Uh,
listen, if you want to bully somebody, let me give you an
No,
Instagram handle. You could just go ahead and harass this
no,
white man.
not even online. No, that would be like Kyle would complain. He would be like, don't cyberbully him.
Don't cyberbully the whites, please. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about what's been going on with these rumors. If you've lived under a rock, Amanda Batula and Wes Wilson, after weeks of speculation, came out and did a wee post, a little joint statement.
Nowhere was there a sorry, but
No, no,
there was no apology. But
no apology.
you know what? If they don't, if they don't feel apologetic, they don't have to be. But it just shows who they are, and that's it.
Exactly.
That's
That's
what I mean.
why,
Like that's the part that I'm saying, that they are who they are. They can
exactly.
boing. They can do whatever. But
So that's why Patreon exclusive, I'm here in the apology dune because I'm looking for people. I
mhm,
don't see I don't see anybody. There's
no,
nobody to be seen in the apology dune.
no.
Um I want to hear from you what your initial thoughts were when you heard did you hear about the rumors?
I did hear about the rumors just last week, like a
Okay.
couple of days before it came through, and
Yeah.
it was just online something something, and then I think it might have been Ray. Ray was on somebody's
She was on
podcast,
Bitch Sesh.
Bit Sesh, and Ray was saying, well, that may be true. And I listen to everything Ray says, and Ray's always on point.
She is.
Ray is an expert because she and I, both of us do, but she watches even more. She's a challenge expert and survivor expert. It's all about people, reading between the lines, knowing
Mhm.
where the alliances are, who's going to vote for who, and how the alliances are shifting. And so Ray always is usually on point, except for Robin Dixon, which Ray doesn't have the information I have, which is why. But that's okay. That's
Listen,
okay.
we
That's
all
the
we
only
all
thing that I'll
it's
forgive
okay.
Ray
It's
for.
okay. It's
But
okay.
Ray's usually on point, and when Ray said that, I was like, that just seems so weird. And it felt like I had to remind myself what Amanda's age was. I
Mhm.
think, like, having been married to the 40-year-old, I always thought of her as kind of older for some
Oh,
reason
interesting. Huh.
because she was with Kyle. And then Wes comes in, and I keep thinking there's like a huge age difference because Amanda came in first. But Amanda is actually closer to Wes's age, I think.
Yeah, they're
And
4 years apart,
yeah,
whereas she and Kyle are 10 years apart.
correct. So I had to remind myself of that when I heard that, and I was like, yeah. Okay, now I
Okay,
see how that can happen because otherwise it was like if Lindsay and Jesse Solomon had hooked up. That's the kind of feeling I got.
yeah,
You
yeah, you're
know,
like, oh, okay, that
it's
makes
like
sense.
forget that Amanda is not the same age as Lindsay and Kyle.
Yeah, that's fair. Even Lindsay's not Kyle's age.
No,
Kyle's an old man.
Kyle is an old man, which
I
is a whole other conversation we can have about Kyle and his business and all of that. But
Oh, in my agenda, I did this. It's a list of like 20 things, and this third last thing is Kyle. I guess we should talk about Kyle. so, okay. I had heard about it first on Dumpster Dive. I was on with Tom. I can't remember if Tom was here or if I was there, but he was like, "Have you heard the rumors of West and Amanda?" And I was
yeah.
like, "What? Shut up. No." And that was like around, I think, right after the Super Bowl, like a week or two after the Super Bowl. So like end of
Oh
February.
wow, that far ago.
Yeah, yeah. So end of February. And then it was some
Wow.
sort of like photo dump and her wearing his hat and all this stuff. And I was like, I don't know. I don't. And then they were like, no, no. West's friend is dating Amanda. That's who she's dating, is some friend of West's. And so
Mm.
that's why they've all been hanging out and da 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 and all this stuff. And then suddenly there was this like thing about, oh, there's a picture and Sierra has seen it. And now Sierra is not talking to Amanda. And so that was like recent. That was like a week or two ago, I think.
Mhm.
And apparently it was that somebody had made a video of a window in Amanda's apartment, and it's apparently Amanda and West getting intimate. Now what that means, I don't know. That's
Yeah.
fucked up. By the
Yeah.
way, here's the thing. Amanda is not a victim in the West, Amanda, and Sierra situation. I just want to say that. But West and Amanda being filmed without their consent while they're intimate, they are the victims of that. Like that's not like we and I'm glad that we haven't seen the pictures or anything.
Okay, so that's something I wanted to point out with. Okay, it can happen because I have taken a couple of celebrity pictures in many bad, but it hasn't been intimate or it
Yeah,
hasn't
you're
been
not watching
anything.
somebody blow somebody and then like you're like,
No,
let me get a
but it
picture of
could
this.
have. It could be that you're about to take a picture and something happens,
Sure.
right? And you end up capturing it. But I thought it was I was like so proud of our cyber education, protection, like our schools, because
It's
whoever
like
took this picture was aware that they shouldn't share something like that it could be a federal offense.
yeah.
They had seen enough and more of what was that thing? Oh,
Oh, it was
where
like Raquel. It was Raquel. It was the whole Raquel
whatever.
Ariana Tom thing of like
Yeah, so
Ariana had
they're
taken
like
the.
they knew enough legally that could be jeopardy and that they
They
could
listened
be
to Bravo
jeopardized, and they were
Docket.
like that could be considered sharing pornography. So
Yeah,
and so I could be on charges, so I need to be careful, and told Sierra, hey, no, I cannot do that. And then but Sierra got around it by saying, let's meet for coffee and you can show it to me.
yeah. So apparently, that's that. I mean, when
Which,
I
by
had
the
heard
way,
it,
Sierra, stop meeting strangers for coffee to look at pictures, because that could be the next thing that happens. Like, hey, I got a picture. Come see me.
yeah, I don't know how people move online in the world. It's very
Hmm.
confusing to me, but I agree with you. It was very like you can tell that whoever the sleuth was like, I listened to Bravo Docket. I'm not going
Hmm.
to get in trouble. I'm going to
Hmm.
do the right thing. So
Hmm.
I did appreciate that. I have
But
the
I also
timeline.
thought somewhere I read that it was somebody who also has a podcast or has like is is an influencer or is like a content creator of some sort. And that's
Yeah.
why they're like, that's one of the reasons why um Sierra was comfortable maybe with them. But that's
It's
it could be.
possible.
It's
Yeah, it's
possible.
possible that it might be somebody that they already
It
I
was
mean,
John Hamm. It was John Hamm.
it
Okay.
was no, it was like it was this Monique. She flew in from California.
It was Kristen Doughty.
It was Kristen Doty, imagine. So I found the timeline. Somebody, a Bravo Block Party on Threads, had done us a favor by putting the timeline together. And this is apparently goes as far back as February 2nd.
Oh.
So February 2nd, West and Amanda are seen on a date drinking martinis. And everybody's like, whatever, they're friends, they're hanging out. February 3rd is when Amanda and Sierra were on Watch What Happens Live together. Listen,
Mm.
this is a tale as old as time. Apparently, this is what they do on Bravo. They hook up with each other's significant others or exes, and then they go on Watch What Happens Live. And they're so lucky that Sierra doesn't have the knuckle issue, the
Knuckles.
nails.
She doesn't have
Okay,
nails.
but at the February 3rd
Yeah.
taping of Watch What Happens Live, Sierra is asked about West, and she's like, "Oh, like he's just my buddy. He's very cute. I like his fashion. Whatever. You're just gonna have to wait and see."
Yeah.
And that's the one where Amanda like lies about when she and Kyle actually broke up, which is where I first picked up her little tell.
Mm.
February
Like, how
8th.
do you not remember that date?
How do you not remember how long you October or
Mm,
November, bitch?
Like, I would know date, time,
I know
everything.
exactly. Yeah. She's just making shit up.
Yeah.
And then February 8th weekend is the Super Bowl weekend, which is when we saw Sierra and Wes like hanging out at
Mm.
the Super Bowl and having a great time. And everybody was like, Wes is so amazing. He loves Bad Bunny and he hates ice. And we're like, okay. I mean, that's not enough, but I
Bring
guess,
on the vest hate.
yeah, that's
The
fine.
belly forward a kid, and
Oh my
you
God.
just hate this toddler for no reason
He's a
whatsoever. So,
tummy forward toddler.
tummy forward
Okay.
toddler. Okay.
And then Beyond the Blind, Laguna Beach, Kelly Williams, she clocked it on February 22nd to 25th. She started getting DMs about West and Amanda together, and that is as how early that picture window stuff goes. Like
Mm.
she had started to get DMs about this but alleged picture that's out there of them together.
Mhm.
um March 3rd, Amanda is interviewed by Marie Claire. She's riding high. She is talking about how she doesn't want to have an Ariana moment because her marriage is so different. Like
March
she's
3rd.
March 3rd.
March 3rd. Scandal broke up. March 1st to 3rd. By the way, March is the month for these things to break out. March 1st to 3rd was Scandal, and now March 30th to 31st is this.
Pisces season is diabolical. March 3rd, also my son's birthday, the day I became a mother.
Mm.
Chaos.
It's Donnie's birthday month. That's all I'm saying.
Donnie Appreciation Month is when all these things happen, which is ironic because
That's why
Donnie
I think it's Donnie. Donnie has something to do with this.
Ironic because Donnie neither watches Summer House nor Vanderpump Rules. Has never watched a single episode of either of those shows. The other day he was like, "Dear Algo" on like Threads. He was like, "I could give two shits
I
about
know.
Summer House." And I said, Donnie, now the robot's gonna think that you give a shit because you said it wrong.
Donnie is the guy that is watching the Jen Shah special when all of this is
Donnie is
happening. When
Donnie
all
is
of this is happening, Donnie is like, let me find out what Jen Shah wants to say and how I should be forgiving her.
I was just cracking. I'm like, she's having a meltdown somewhere where she's like, "What?" I was gonna do my big return to
There's
media.
only one question I want to ask Jen Shah. Complete detour, but there's only one question I want to ask Jen Shah, and that is the Ghislaine Maxwell. Is that the real one or the
Yeah,
fake one?
I
Because
know.
there's a whole lot of conspiracy that this is not the same woman.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if a
I wouldn't
Ghislaine
be surprised
Maxwell
either, but
lookalike
I want to know.
shows up as Pam Bondi's new job. I mean, who knows?
Oh, she shows up as Jen Shah. Who knows?
Hey, you and Pam Bondi both out of a job.
Shut up! For the same reasons. For the same reasons, right?
You trusted a man.
Man.
Okay, so March 4th is when the rumors started of like people being a Dumois started posting stuff. And And then Amanda's still in the press. She's talking about on podcasts about never dating any of her coworkers and never dating her castmates. She goes on Watch What Happened Live. She says she's never going to date any of her castmates, all this stuff. Kyle shows up on March 10th on Watch What Happens Live and says, I've never heard about West and Amanda hooking up. If that happened, that would be really shocking.
And I want to put a pin in there. He says the only person that should be upset about all of this is Sierra.
Sierra. Mm-hmm.
It's like if they like each other, if Amanda is happy, I'll be fine with it. But man, it would be hard on Sierra. So he cares about Sierra then.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And then fast forward 2 weeks later, Amanda and Sierra are not doing their joint like things together. They're supposed to do Amazon Live. They're supposed to do some sort of Ollie wellness event.
Mm-hmm.
They're supposed to do all these things. March 29th, things get weirder. The speculation grows because of all of the March 24th is when Wes shows up on Watch What Happens Live, and then he says that weird thing about like Amanda's just a friend.
Mm-hmm.
And that's actually what Ray clocked. Ray saw Wes' reaction to that question of, is there something going on with you and Amanda? And she was like, they're fucking. That reaction was from a man who is fucking that woman.
Mm-hmm. And doesn't
100%.
want to, and doesn't want a relationship with her.
And does not want a relationship with her. That's what's really important here.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to get into that.
Mm-hmm.
So then March 29th, there's more speculation. Rumors are getting louder. Also, like when he said that thing about like, oh, she's just a friend. Somebody commented on it saying, don't they understand? West is just like a safe bestie for Amanda. Like they don't get it. And Amanda commented on it saying, thank you. And
but also you missed one thing was that before the picture reveal, Sierra had noticed that on her whatever find a friend or whatever that is on your app.
Yes.
You know,
she had Amanda had
iPhones.
removed herself from Find My.
No. But no, Sierra.
Sorry. Amanda had removed herself from Sierra's Find My.
No, that was the next day. But Sierra clocked her being at Wes's house overnight.
Wait, I didn't know that. When did that happen?
Oh, that was before. So Sierra clocked her being at Wes's overnight because it showed her at Wes's apartment overnight. So Sierra sent her an email asking, what's up? And she was like, what's going on? And Amanda didn't respond for a full 14 hours and then came back and said, we're just hanging out, we're just friends. And so Sierra then apparently texted her and said, that doesn't mean nothing's going on, that you're not hooking up. And Amanda removed herself from the Find a thing. And that's when she also got the information that there was a picture.
Wow. And also,
so it's all going back to how Sheena tracks everybody. Okay.
It all goes back to Shishu.
It all goes back to Shishu and the ways Shishu moves.
I'll be honest with you. I think that West, this is like, Amanda, you blew your life up for this guy. West being on Watch What Happens Live was like the real big smoking gun for me.
But also, she blew her future in the show because finally she worked a good 3 years of getting everybody to hate Kyle, and everybody was on the same page this year.
Yep.
And this would have been the year where Amanda, is the heroine here because she was finally able to separate from Kyle and move on with her life.
Yep.
This was the year for her to bloom. And then even before the reunion, this is what she did. I'm like, you could have waited a few more months.
For a man who's still not ready to be like, you're my girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's like women coming out of the woodwork. So all that to say, 24th is when he was on Watch What Happens Live. He said some dumb shit. And then a week later, they had to post this joint statement, which said, we've seen the growing online speculation. So while this is very new, we wanted to provide some clarity. It was never our intention to purposely hide anything, given the complicated relationship dynamics involved and the scrutiny that comes with being on a reality TV show. We needed a little space to process things privately before speaking on it. We've shown up for each other as friends over the years through all the highs and lows. Okay, let me pause there for a second. Chelsea has talked about this many times. Anytime you see anybody talk about their highs and lows in a relationship,
Hmm.
you got to be out. We cannot be talking about highs and lows. Anytime somebody does an anniversary post and we're like, we've been through highs and lows, or when they do like a vow, their vows during a wedding, and they're
Hmm.
like, we've been through highs and lows. No, this is already setting up for bad omen. Okay. We've shown up for each other as friends over the years through all the highs and lows, and what's developed recently was the last thing either of us expected. Our connection grew as a out of a genuine friendship, which made it especially important for us to approach this with care. As our feelings evolved, we wanted to take time to understand exactly what we were feeling. We also recognize that this has had an impact beyond just us, and we never wanted our actions to cause any hurt or be perceived as careless. Perceived. Perception is very important to a man
And we
and
also
last.
understand, I mean, like, we know. It's not we understand, they know and they knew before.
Yeah,
And either way, again, I have no problem with them hooking up. I
nope,
actually don't.
none. Hold on one second. My
The
husband's asking me
only
for something.
problem I have is all of the aftermath and how they're going about it, and the fact that this was not a conversation. I mean, they're they're making me appreciate Jesse Solomon for asking Wes permission to go smack on Sierra.
Now, here's
I'm
my
like, there
question.
wasn't a conversation with Sierra that you were catching feelings. I don't get it.
Okay, so you do you believe that Jesse Solomon was acting like a Schwartz?
Oh yeah.
That he was pretending to be interested in Sierra and talking to West about Sierra on this past season of the show that's currently airing, so that could be West's storyline instead of the fact that West is like,
Oh no, 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 no. I
okay.
don't think that. I think Jesse Solomon was he's like actively interested in Sierra. That's not.
Well, he's
But
just a
I don't
disgusting
think it was
person.
more than anything physical. It was
Yeah,
all of the canoodling in the bed. These boys, they have hormones. It doesn't work with them. It's not
that's
the
true.
same. They don't have the maturity to separate the two. So I don't think that that he was necessarily helping. I don't think Jesse is smart enough to do that. And he's got a big mouth. I mean, like literally and
Literally
figuratively.
and figuratively.
He has a big mouth. He couldn't have held on to something. He apparently was going around telling people to.
He told Zach from the Valley's cousin.
That man can't keep a secret.
And then now he's going online being like, I didn't know about it. I was just shocked as everybody else. Jesse, shut up. Shut up, Jesse.
Jesse, the investor turned musician. Fuck you. Did you see that where he's like promoting his music, albums or whatever whatever he's doing his,
Tour.
and then tours, and then Sheena commented on it saying, "Okay, Sheena." This is why I love Shishu.
That's why I love Shishu. I'll never get enough of her. Okay, so what was your reaction to their statement?
It was bullshit. I was like, who's their crisis manager? Not Lindsay, obviously. But
I
also I
love
was like,
her so
to
much.
be honest, from my from my perspective, it feels like all through February into March to the end of March seems like a long time for the rest of the cast to have not known, not suspected, not asked questions, not followed up, not done the sleuthing that we are able to do within the next couple of days.
Yep.
So to me, I have to be honest, it feels incredulous that they didn't know beforehand,
Yep.
like before we knew.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I
So
mean, we
so
did start to see the reaction posts. As soon as
I
Lindsay posted that, I was like, "Uh-oh."
yeah, I mean, it almost feels like they knew there was going to be a public statement, and then they waited until then to post all of the reaction posts, but they knew before. That's how I
Mhm.
feel. Even Kyle, walking his dog and saying, hey, I didn't know it was real until two days ago, blah blah blah. It just feels, it doesn't feel authentic to me. What even more confuses me is that if Sierra had seen the picture and knew this was happening,
Yep.
why was she outside in a white dress crying when they announced? Is it because the way they announced is not just like, oh, we hooked up, but that there were feelings involved? Is that the difference, that these guys are? So I'm thinking that they knew they hooked up, but that didn't make such a big splash for them. But the fact that they are together in a relationship, quote unquote, is what's surprising these people.
You want to know what I think?
Hmm.
I don't think that West is interested at all in being in a
I don't think
relationship
so
with
either. I think
Amanda.
he's just going with it for now.
I think that Amanda knows that she screwed up royally. And rather
Hmm.
than having to deal with this alone with the rest
Hmm.
of the cast, she is making him post that message because she wrote it. It says like when you can see when somebody writes it
Yeah,
versus when somebody reposts it.
yeah.
She wrote it. It says like made by create. So you could tell that she wrote it. He
Plus,
literally
the highs and
screenshot it.
lows were with Amanda. No, he
Yeah.
didn't have any highs and
What
lows.
yeah, what is his highs and lows are that he is high
Highs
and
and
he
lows were
is
his
his
hairline. That's
his
all.
lows are he's a low down dirty dog. That's
Yeah,
what that is.
yeah.
But I think that Amanda cried and told him like look at what the fuck we're doing, like we have to turn this into something. I also feel like Wes has no interest in actually making this a real relationship. I mean, in my opinion, I think Amanda swapped out Kyle for Kyle. She
Hmm.
was dating a party boy in his 30s in New
Hmm.
York City who's blonde and short, and
Hmm.
then now she left that man for a party boy in New York City who's blonde and short. And by the way, I said this before online, I'll say it again. We met Amanda as Kyle's side chick, and now
Hmm.
we're gonna say goodbye to Amanda as Wes's side chick.
Yeah,
That's what she is.
yeah,
That's what she's gonna be, which is so sad. Like,
yeah,
it's actually so pathetic. It's
yeah,
actually embarrassing.
yeah. It
Yuck.
is.
Well,
It
let's
is.
can we talk about okay, I want to talk about Amanda Batula
Okay.
because
Tell
I
me.
did a deep
Tell me.
dive.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell me everything about her
Here's the
that
thing.
I don't know.
I want you we probably know a lot of it, but I think people need to be reminded of like how we met Amanda. Like I said on season 1, she was not full-time cast member.
Hmm.
She was a booty call for Kyle.
Hmm.
She was a girl that he was hooking up with, so much so that so not serious with her that when Lindsay and Danielle and one of the workesses cropped her out of a picture,
Hmm.
they didn't think it was a big deal until Kyle got mad and wrote them a 17-page email about why he cropped them. She cropped
Oh,
them.
that was that what that was about. I forgot about that. I know he wrote a 17-page email, but I didn't
Mhm.
know it was about Amanda.
He was mad that they were not nice to Amanda. And they were like, we genuinely thought she was just a hookup because
Uh-huh.
we don't see you acting like you're in a relationship.
Yeah.
And so Amanda came in season 1 as a booty call for Kyle. That's what
Hmm.
she was. She's a young girl. She's only 24 years old, which, by the way, I mean, I guess, yeah, your frontal lobe hasn't fully developed, but like old
Hmm.
enough to know better. But
Hmm.
Amanda Batula is, after all, a woman from New Jersey. And, you know,
Hmm.
as a woman from New Jersey myself, and as a long time resident of the state, I've lived here longer than I've lived anywhere else. I've also consumed a lot of New Jersey television. I'm
Hmm.
familiar with the people of New Jersey. I'm familiar with the crowds here. You've lived here for a little while.
Hmm.
Amanda's not a Jersey girl like, say, Dolores Catania
Hmm.
or one of the Gorgas or
Hmm.
a Judice.
Hmm.
Okay. She's a Jersey girl from Hillsborough, New Jersey. She's
I was
from
gonna ask what's the
Somerset
address.
County.
Yeah.
She's from Somerset County. And Aarti, what can you tell me about Somerset County? Anything stick out to you? What
Mhm.
do you know like a famous landmark that might be in Hillsborough?
Oh,
Like,
not
I don't
her.
know, something to do with the current president?
Yep, a golf course.
Yep, a Trump golf course.
Hmm.
So, New Jersey, yes, is a blue state.
Hmm.
Love New Jersey. Will never live anywhere else. I love
But
this place, so I'm not
Somerset.
living here.
Hmm.
Somerset County and Morris County, those
Morristown.
are red counties. And I think
Hmm.
Somerset is now getting bluer, but
Hmm.
Hillsborough, New Jersey,
Hmm.
that's white people horse country,
Yep.
okay?
Yep.
That's what that is.
And it's Italians, but not Jersey Shore Italians, not
It's not Patterson
Patterson, not
Italians.
Patterson Italians. It's Italians who think they're better than all the other Italians. Italians.
That's right. It's not Italians from Nutley or Bloomfield or
No,
Verona or West
no,
Orange or the
no,
Caldwells. No, these are
no.
Italians from, they're wealthy Italians. They're the
Uh-huh.
ones that like look down on the other Italians that
Yeah.
still, you know,
They're
it's like
like,
it,
yeah, we don't talk to Sicilians kind of Italians.
exactly. And now I looked up Frank Batula and Donna Batula
Mm-hmm.
online, and Frank Batula, Donna Batula, and another Frank Batula, who is apparently Amanda's brother, guess what they are all are? They're registered Republicans.
Mm-hmm.
And I bring this up not because Amanda's apparently unaffiliated,
Yeah.
by the way. She is registered. I don't know
Yeah.
if she's ever voted. But I bring this up because not because I think that if your parents are Republicans, you're a Republican, but I do think that it 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 paints the way you see the world, right? I know the kind of woman that grows up in Hillsborough, New Jersey. I know the kind of white girl this is. I understand why this white girl is
Oh, you
interested in how
really hate
she's
white
going to
women,
be.
don't you? Look at you doing the deep dive into their parents and their heritage.
Let me
This
tell you
is
something.
you
So
are a
I
psycho.
was
Okay, go
okay,
ahead.
okay, you're gonna love this. On the boat, I met this wonderful person named Miranda.
Uh-huh.
And she and I started talking, and she said, "Do you watch Summer House?" And my friend that was there was like, "She has a Bravo podcast."
Yeah.
And I said, "Miranda, I'm letting you know right now. I have a lot of really hot takes." And she said, You should have really hot takes." And I said, "It's not great about white people." And she goes, "It's fine. I understand. I'm from Tennessee."
Uh,
So I just say that because even the new
you
white
found
people
the
that I
one
meet,
person.
yeah, I'm like, I know one white person. And I did tell her that. I said, "It's okay because you know what? Growing up, all my friends were white. So some of my best friends are white. That
some
doesn't
of
mean
your
I
some of the people married into your family are white. That's okay.
some people married into my family. I have one actual white sister-in-law, and then I almost had a white sister-in-law. Okay. So like, um, yeah,
Some of your
I bring
nieces and nephews are white, but
one
that's
of my
okay.
nieces and nephews is half white. So like, you know, um, but I bring this up because I think that it's important to see the kind of person Amanda is. I think Amanda was a young girl that came into the show, globbed onto Kyle.
Mm,
We all remember
mhm. Oh
Kyle.
yeah,
We all remember Kyle. It was always about Kyle, Amanda.
yeah.
Like until Hannah and Paige rolled around, you could tell that Amanda was really awkward. She was
Yeah,
really quiet, and she wanted to be one of the cool kids, but was very much not because
right,
Lindsay and the workesses were like, "Who is this child that
right,
you brought into our spaces?" You know what
right,
I mean?
right. And
And
Amanda was didn't even come into her own until Hannah actually left. It
yes,
was until then, even then, when Hannah and Kyle were fighting, and she was like, she was always in the middle, and she would like always stick up for Kyle. And not that I'm a big Hannah fan, I don't like Hannah either, but um, Amanda was really just another body in the bed, and it was really Hannah and Paige that are Long Island, and New York
yeah.
Italians, which is very different. And they were the ones that were like complete. They were the ones that were more outspoken and had viewpoints. And
They had an
really,
actual
Amanda grew
opinion.
up on this TV show. Basically,
Uh-huh.
she didn't
Uh-huh.
come into her own until Hannah left, and then she became the center of
And I
like
think that,
even yeah,
yeah, I think that she also has like globbed onto people's personalities. Like I think
yeah,
that she was just Kyle's girlfriend, and her whole storyline every single season was she's in this toxic relationship with Kyle, and he gets drunk and he cheats on her.
hmm,
Then for a while she was just, her entire personality was being mad at Lindsay because Lindsay was like, "Well, Kyle gets drunk and cheats on people.
yeah,
Like cheats on you all the time." Like, and
yeah,
it, even with Hannah and Paige, I was not a fan of Hannah, but at the end of the day, Hannah's biggest beef with Amanda was, you let your boyfriend treat me like shit and
hmm,
I'm not going to put up with it. You can be treated like shit if you want to be treated like shit, but I'm not going to
yeah,
deal with that, right? And like
right,
rather than, and then her big thing was she became a victim because Hannah got engaged and didn't tell Amanda.
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Then it was like, oh,
Yeah.
Hannah's not my friend. And
Yeah.
like Hannah was annoying for so many other reasons.
Yeah.
She brought that husband of hers on
Who's
and like
actually, yeah, he's actually smarter and funnier than Hannah, by the way. I do like
I've seen
his,
some of his stuff and
I do.
unfortunately it is
Yeah.
very funny.
Yeah.
I mean, not to give a white man credit, but
He's Irish,
sure,
so it's
sure,
okay.
whatever.
He's Irish.
He's Irish. We'll allow it. Those
We'll
are
allow it
acceptable. Those are acceptable whites.
because they were colonized, but that's okay.
But yeah, I agree with you. She didn't really
Commonwealth
have a
white
person.
men are okay.
Even the Welsh, I'm like, we need shout out to the Welsh and the
Yeah.
Scots. Like they don't
Yeah.
really want, they don't, they're not interested.
No.
If they could be not in the United Kingdom, they'd really
Yeah.
prefer it.
Okay.
Anyway, I agree with you. Amanda didn't have a personality with Hannah. She really only got a personality after Hannah left and then she globbed onto Paige, right?
Mm.
And even with Paige, like her entire personality with Paige was Paige didn't like Lindsay and Hannah didn't, or Amanda didn't like
Hmm.
Lindsay. So their whole friendship was based on their mutual hatred of Lindsay.
Yeah.
Amanda didn't get cool with Lindsay until after Paige was cool with Lindsay.
Hmm.
And I
Yep.
think, like, again, I'm saying this because, like, Amanda, we've never really seen who Amanda is. The one time we did see who Amanda was when she was really cruel to Jules for no reason at all.
That's true. I forgot about Jules too.
Jules was taking a shot of Fireball with a glass bottle, and Amanda kicked her in the face.
That's right. Oh my
And like
god.
she told Jules, like, well, you're dating Jordan, so like he's not a trustworthy person. So if you are a
True,
person who
but
trusts
also
yeah,
true.
if you trust somebody who if you're a person who trusts a liar, then are you a liar too? And Jules was like, with all due respect, Kyle cheats on you. He's not trustworthy either.
Mm.
And the girls, they
Was
iced out Jules.
was Jordan the one that dated
Erica Kirk.
Erica
Uh-huh.
Kirk?
Yep, yep,
Okay.
yep.
Now
Mhm.
imagine if Erica Kirk had remained in the summer house.
I mean, look, sliding doors. I mean, you never know what could have happened.
Right? Plus, she was part of the Epstein thing, so God knows where these girls would have
Lord
ended up.
knows. Lord knows where we would have ended up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like we've not really seen any of her personality. And I'm bringing all this up because in all of this, I've never really seen Sierra and Amanda be friends. Like, I think that Sierra and Paige are really good friends. I think Paige and Amanda are really good
I think
friends.
last year and maybe the year before, Sierra, Paige, and Amanda started getting closer, mostly because Sierra was trying to protect Amanda. Sierra was very protective of Amanda, and as the things started devolving more and more between Amanda and Kyle, Sierra would step up and be there every time Amanda cried. Sierra was there.
Yeah.
Every time something happened, Sierra was there. Every time they went out, and or Kyle went out or came late, Sierra would be in Amanda's bed waiting with her. And she was always there for Amanda, only because she felt so bad for Amanda, and she kept telling that you need to leave, you need to do something, you need to talk, you need to go to therapy, whatever. And it was, I also remember a couple of years ago is when Amanda started, going to
Fertility.
therapy, getting her medications in. It was the whole fertility thing, but then she went into medications so
Yep.
that and she stopped trying to have a kid because of the medication. She used that as the excuse, blah, blah, blah. But whatever it was, I felt like that was like really, really low a couple of years ago. And Sierra was there for her throughout all of that. I feel like
Well,
she was
I think
there
it
for
was
Amanda.
Paige was there for her and Sierra was there with Paige. But I've never really seen Amanda, like, even I will say
I think I have seen them have conversations about
I
it.
think
Yeah.
that they definitely are
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah.
I think that Sierra is an amazing friend, and we'll get
Yeah.
to it when we talk a little bit more about Sierra, but like
Mhm.
I think that when it comes to Amanda and Sierra, the reason why I'm bringing this up is not because I think that that makes it excusable what Amanda did.
Mhm.
I'm saying this because I don't think, and Ray said this online, She said that I think that Sierra values these friendships more than they value her. I
Mm.
think that Sierra valued Austin more than he valued her, right?
Right.
Like we've seen this happen. Um Sierra, even the way she was brought onto the show, she was brought on as Luke's ex girlfriend, and she was kind of used in a way to make Hannah jealous.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of it is Sierra sort of being used as a prop in a lot of these situations, right? And
Right.
I think even when it comes to this, it's like Amanda and Sierra, even in the start of this season, they're like, "Oh, I miss Paige."
Yeah.
Like they both are like, "Oh, we have to sort of keep the bed bugs going because it's just
Mm-hmm.
the two of us," right?
Mm-hmm.
But you see the way Sierra, like her entire demeanor changes when she's with Mia and KJ.
Mm-hmm.
Mia
Yeah.
and KJ, it's like day and night, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I think we'll get to the race aspect of it later, but I'm saying this because Amanda, the way that she's moved is so disappointing because I thought that she was showing up in places and she kept saying in podcasts, like, oh, I wouldn't have been able to get through this last year if it wasn't for Sierra. She's so kind and
Yeah.
so loving and she's so loyal. She said all these things out
Mm-hmm.
loud on record. And I think I'm mad at her because it's like, you know, those things to be true and you did this shit anyway, which shows me the kind of person you are. You center men. She
Mm-hmm.
replaced Kyle. Remember all those seasons we would be like, Kyle treated Amanda like shit. Why does she keep sitting on the reunion, sitting smugly and being
Mm-hmm.
like, hey,
She like come reunion time, she would be on Kyle's side.
every time.
Like throughout the season, she would be complaining about him, but come reunion, she would have his back. And it was like, okay, but sometimes he's wrong, and you can call him out on the reunion stage. You can call him out on it,
Yep.
but she would not. She always complains about Kyle when nobody's around, and it's always, hey, he did this, but I'm the martyr, and I'm putting
Yeah.
up with all of that.
Yeah, and I think that I bring this up because it felt to me like this season she was gonna have to pal up with the girls.
Hmm.
And I don't think that Amanda is capable of being friends with girls. I think
Hmm.
that Amanda needs to hide behind a man. I think that that's what her entire personality on the show has been, right? Like
Hmm.
even this season, like now I'm seeing clips of this week's episode and last week's episode, how she is even sitting with West. Like you could tell
Hmm.
that she's already leaning very heavily on him. She's
Hmm.
holding his hand. And like I heard Raven and Taria talk about this on Raven's podcast, and they were like, maybe this is just like a white people thing, but like I don't really sit with my guy friends like that. Like I
Mm.
don't sit with my guy friends where I'm like sitting on their laps and holding their hands. Like I don't think that that's really a thing that I would do, even if I was getting separated, even if I was like, that was my
Mhm.
friend. I just don't do that. So I chalk it up to not understanding. But now looking at this whole thing with the lens of they actually hooked up and
Mhm.
are actively hooking up and are now in this joint statement phase of their life together,
Mhm.
it feels to me like maybe those touches and those like giggles and the flirting with each other and batting your lashes at this man, it wasn't really, it wasn't as
Yes.
innocent as it
Yeah.
seemed.
So one of the things that Kyle, speaking of, new lens, one of the things that Kyle's kind of slipped in that street interview
The
was
dog
that
walking interview.
the dog walking
Wait, by
interview
the
and the
way,
dog
my
poop.
favorite thing about that was that he was talking there for so long that the dog was like, I'll just take a shit here.
Shit. It's like I don't even see a patch of grass. I guess you're not going to take me to the park. It's just this pavement, no smells, nothing. I can't hold it anymore. Here I go. And anyway, it was like he's let it slip that when the guy was asking what's his name was asking when do you think it started, when like, did it go far? And he was like, well, I'm getting all these DMs that it was even far back as September or maybe even June, like before summer. He just
Yeah.
let it slip for a second there. And I was thinking that, like, and I was going crazy. I wasn't getting attention. And I'm thinking, you haven't gotten attention from her for a long, long time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this summer, in what we are seeing now, he's getting really upset. He gets upset about Amanda flirting with Ben. He gets
Mm-hmm.
upset with Amanda, stripping down to her undies and jumping into the pool because, like, why are you getting naked? He just says "fuck you" to Amanda as she's sitting with Wes,
Mm-hmm.
doing nothing other than leaning on him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, like, Kyle was picking up on all of this. I think Kyle and Amanda were separated already.
Yes.
And then they came into the summer thinking, Kyle came into the summer thinking they were going to work on their marriage.
Yeah.
And he comes in and he finds her to be completely checked out, flirting with everybody except him. And he realized that marriage is over.
Yeah.
And he's going through everything else in his work life, and now this is going downhill. And he is like, a, obviously worried that the marriage is over, but b, worried about no prenup and all of that kind of shit, and what does he have to give her now. So all of that money issues. And then he sees her flirting and giggling with all of these guys, and now I get why he was acting like Amanda has gone topless and bottomless and done, has been jumping into those pools for years now. And Kyle, it has never bothered Kyle. Kyle has
Because
been
that was
naked
his that
around
was his
people. It
girl. It was
never,
fine.
yeah, it was never bothered Kyle. But all of a sudden now it bothers Kyle. And just, it just was very weird to me that he would mention that. Is like, why are you going half naked into the pool? Why are you doing that? And he said that on camera, and I was like, why is he saying that? He never mentions it. He doesn't care. Why does he care now all of a sudden? And now it makes sense to me that he probably a knew or noticed or suspected that something else was going on, that she was sleeping around with somebody else. Obviously they weren't together, they weren't living under the same roof, so she was hooking up and he could sense it, and he knew that they weren't. He tries to go take a shower with her and she says no. So it's all of these little things, and
Yeah.
I'm thinking, oh, so he kind of suspected it, and that's what was bothering him. That's why he was getting upset, and it worked out perfectly well for Amanda, because it just set up the narrative that it was just beyond repair, and now he had. And the other thing that I noticed was, the other thing that stood out even before all of these rumors came along, one of the things that stood out for me was this conversation that after Kyle goes off on Amanda. The
Mm-hmm.
next morning, Jesse and West are sitting outside and they're talking near the pool. And Jesse says, "So, are you going to talk to Kyle about it?" And first of all, West says, "This is by far the worst I have seen them be, and this is like completely." Not good. And I'm like, where did this outrage come from?
And
I'm
like,
like,
why is
yeah,
Wes so
like
invested in
Kyle
this
says
marriage?
fuck
Yeah.
you all the time. I mean, like,
Mm-hmm.
it was not an odd Kyle flip out. I mean, Kyle has flipped out
Yep.
before. He's
Mm-hmm.
flipped out on other people, like
Yep.
maybe on Carl or somebody, but he hasn't, maybe not. He has flipped out on Lindsay. He's
Yep.
flipped out on the Workus twins. He has flipped out before like this. So it wasn't odd, but the way that West was thinking that this was outrageous, and Jesse saying, are you going to say something to Kyle about it? And Wes says, I guess I have to, right? I have to. And I'm
Why
like,
do you have to?
why do you have to? It just clicked. That conversation was so odd that it sat in my brain. And when this came out, I was like, ah, now I get it.
Do
Because
you
I was
remember
like, why
speaking
would you
wait.
have to talk about it?
TaxAct filing software and live tax experts can help small businesses easily knock out their taxes. Actually, our experts can help you find deductions and credits for any sized business. Itty bitty businesses, medium sized, really big, mid sized, small businesses, companies with 0 employees, and mom and pop conglomerates. Yep, our tax experts can help all of them. TaxAct, let's get them over with.
Do you remember at the apology Dune when they
Yeah.
were fighting, right?
Yeah.
And they were sitting there and a producer got up to go
Mhm.
talk to Amanda. And Sierra was sitting on the chair and they were like, "Are you going to go talk?" And she was like, "I'm not getting up. The
Yeah.
producer's there, right?"
Yeah.
I think that also goes to show like how that kind of adds to me like how Sierra is a little bit removed from Amanda, because
Mhm.
she's like, I don't get involved in their marriage stuff
Right.
anymore. Like I
Right.
can't do that
Right.
anymore.
Yeah.
Even that
But also,
part of
it's a more
speech.
mature approach. I'm like,
It is. Even at that beach, it was like Kyle went or Wes went up to Kyle and was like, "You're being such a bitch. Like you act like such a bitch with her, right?" Like
mhm,
I'm not look, I support a man looking at another man and saying, "You need to be kinder to your wife."
mhm,
I think that's a lovely thing. But
mhm,
when the guy who says you need to be kinder to your wife ends up fucking your wife,
mhm.
What are
What's
you
wrong?
doing?
What are you
What are you
doing? What are
gonna
we
do?
doing?
What are we doing here? You
Yeah,
know? Okay, let's talk about West for a second.
sure.
Okay. Wes Wilson came on the scene only 3 seasons ago. Can you believe it?
He's caused
It's
so
only
much heartache and pain
it's
with
in three
his
seasons. And all we
unconditioned.
really need to
He just needs conditioner. He needed conditioner on day one. He still needs conditioner in his hair.
listen.
Okay.
I know that white women are mad at me because I do shit on them. But you guys all know white women, I don't hate anybody more than white men. Okay?
Mhm.
So at least
That's
take
true.
solace in that.
Mhm.
Because when all this came out, the one thing
Yeah.
I will say that didn't surprise me was West. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah, this seems like something he would do. He came
Right?
onto the show with
Hmm.
no personality. His personality was, I guess he's like a fun sports guy. He was like a goofy sports guy. He came into the show already being like a little bit intimidated by Jesse. And there was another guy that season. There was like a Hispanic guy, I think, that
Was it
season.
Andrea? No, the Italian
No,
Andrea?
no.
No.
I mean, the fact that we could have had Andrea. I
Yeah,
mean, look,
right.
if Amanda had done that with Andrea, we would have said,
We get it.
"We get it. Who amongst
He
us?
cooks a good pasta. We get
He
it.
makes a good pasta. He brings you espresso in bed.
Yeah.
Done."
Done.
But I remember Wes being like a little coming in his first season, being like goofy little short guy, and he globbed on to Sierra because he made Sierra laugh. And his entire personality, his entire storyline that season was Sierra, 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 Sierra. And
Mhm.
then he did the shit that he did over the off
No, it was from
season.
day one. Both it was Jesse and Wes. But they were like, okay, Sierra is the only one available. Okay, fine. We're going after Sierra.
Yes, because Paige was with Craig still at that time, and Lindsay was engaged to Carl.
No, I think it was even before that. It was the sandwich guy.
No, 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 no,
Stravi.
no, no. Stravi was a COVID season wonder.
Oh, okay, got it.
That's why he made the sandwich so he had to. It was a poolside dinner anyway.
Mhm.
But my point is that he came in and he was like, my personality is going to be pursuing Sierra. As
Mhm.
soon as the show aired and he suddenly realized how popular he became, he broke it off because he was
Mhm.
like, oh, I don't need to glob onto this beautiful black woman to make myself look cool. But the
Mhm.
reality is that West is a culture vulture. He sucked up and attached himself to a black woman. He works for Complex Magazine, which is a black predominantly, I think either it is a predominantly black publication or it has a huge black audience.
Hmm.
And on top of that, like, the way he dresses, the way he acts, acts very like, his whole thing is, oh, like, he's woke, right? That's why
Mhm.
when I called him a tummy forward toddler, all these people got mad at me because they were like, how dare you, he doesn't like ice,
Mhm.
and you're
Did you
calling.
get? Was this the most hate you got?
The most hate I've ever gotten is
You've
when
never
I
gotten a
said,
hate when you have hated on white women, but when you hated on a white man, you got the most hate.
one thing about Bravo fans, they
Hmm.
love white men. And so I
Toxic
got
white men, the more
to-
toxic,
the
the
more
more they
toxic,
love.
the better they.
That's why Southern Charm is still running.
That's right. And I think the fact that, like, he came in like being like, oh yeah, like, I like marginalized people and marginalized communities, and I'm woke, and I like black people, and I like black culture and all these things. But the reality is that when you listen to the way Wes talks about Sierra,
Hmm.
oh, I really liked her, but like, when he's put to task on it, he just fumbles. He doesn't know how
Hmm.
to talk about it. At the reunion, he sweat through his suit and had nothing to say. Then he was like, oh, it was just, I wanted to, I didn't, it was really bad. And then
He
even,
literally has nothing to say about anybody ever. He has nothing to say
he has
when
nothing
he's
to say.
on
He's
the
got nothing
hot
to say
seat
about,
ever.
he's got nothing to
He-
say about Amanda. He just copy pasted her statement, posted it on his own.
right? Oh my
It-
god.
And I think that, you brought up a great point about like how he like went up to Kyle and he's talking to Kyle and all these things. And it's like, West, when Jesse was disrespecting the girl that you have said is the love of your life, Sierra, and
Mhm.
asking if he could make out with her, and everybody in the house was like, that's fucking weird. You went up to Jesse and was like, everybody thinks it's weird that you did that.
I know. You couldn't even say, like, on the floaty, just the two of you. You couldn't even say,
You can't even have
Man,
an
I
intimate
thought
chat.
I didn't say anything right away because I didn't know what to say, but I want to tell you that that was weird. You couldn't
Yeah.
say that? You
What's
couldn't
wrong with
say it?
you?
And then Jesse's lying there with his big smile.
With this
Like
stupid ass
they
face.
knew already. That's when I say
100%.
that Jesse knew and he was keeping his mouth shut, but he was dying inside. He needed to say that to somebody.
Listen, that man, I
But
feel
I
like,
also don't think that Jesse was bad enough as Schwartz. I think he is not. Schwartz knew, and
I mean,
then
it's also Schwartz and Tom Sandoval they know where each other's bodies are buried. Like
bodies are
Jesse
buried.
and West really have only known each other for 3 years.
Correct. Correct.
So,
No, Schwartz went and kissed, and then Rachel acquiesced to that.
yeah,
They plotted that, and
they
I don't
plotted
think
that shit.
Jesse went
Yeah.
that far. But
Yeah, I agree. But now I'm starting to think, what if Wes has always had a big crush on Amanda?
oh, I'm sure
And
they all had. I mean, she has
remember
beautiful
how
boobs, and
West
I
when
had a crush on Amanda and her
no, of
boobs.
course we all did. But Wes, you remember how like Jesse's whole thing last season was like commenting on all of West's pictures or all of Amanda's pictures and
Amanda's
everything.
picture, her the bikini launch, and all of that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm. But I
I'm just saying, both of those boys, they
but
have
Wes
zero.
well
They had zero
the thing that I will clock about
concern
Wes that
for
I
any of
clocked
these
right
women.
away that I noticed about him right away after the first season is that he uses his, you know how like we talk about proximity to whiteness?
Hmm.
He uses his proximity to marginalized communities as a shield of ways for people to not look at his flaws. But from day one, we have seen his flaws.
Yeah.
People are like, his mom's an OBGYN. Okay.
So
So what about it? Is he performing abortions?
in Planned Parenthood, Planned Parenthood.
Yeah, like I want to know. It's
Yeah.
so weird. But I mean, I think that's important because when I shit on him and talk
Hmm.
about how he's a waste of space and everybody gets on me and they're like, "How dare you? He doesn't like Trump." And also, guess what? He has a podcast with MAGA Barbie Sophie Cunningham.
I
He
didn't
grew
know
up with
that until
her.
all of this happened. I
He
did
grew
not
up
know
with
any of
her.
that.
He grew up with her, and when he's been asked about it, he's like, "It's not really like that with me and Sophie Cunningham."
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, guys. Like him behaving this way and him going as far as agreeing to put out a joint statement with his mate's missus.
Hmm.
It's not surprising to me because how he talks about Sierra, he pursued her. As soon as he realized, oh, I can get way more pussy from being on this show, he dropped her. Then the next season, his entire storyline was Sierra's mad at me. I don't
Hmm.
like that. So you're
Hmm.
painting this woman as an angry black woman. Then
And then that whole season, it was everybody coming on Sierra and putting all this pressure on her to
to
like him back,
forgive West. Yep.
to forgive him. Everybody in the house,
Mm-hmm.
everybody. The
Mm-hmm.
women, except
Yep.
for, and the women were doing it in a different way where they would be like, don't you forget, make him
Yeah.
suffer. I'm like, why? Why can't she just ignore him? Why does
Yes.
she have to feel anything for him? And I know to some extent right now, I feel like we are doing that again to Sierra as collectively. That we are feeling sorry for her on her behalf without knowing exactly how she feels. And this is putting pressure on her. The whole collective Bravo sphere is putting pressure and saying, Sierra, you were treated badly. Sierra, you have to feel anger. Sierra, you have to feel sad, and you have to feel betrayal, and you have to feel all of this. If like you said, if Sierra was not as close to Amanda, if Sierra truly had moved away from you know what's his name, Wes, that Sierra can just ignore this whole bullshit and say they just showed me who they are. They didn't care. But I think the fact that we are all getting outraged on behalf of Sierra without Sierra having even said something is also in some way, shape, and form is going to add more pressure on Sierra to feel a certain way about all of this.
I can see that.
Right?
I
So
think
I worry that what we are talking about is also going to affect her even more. I mean, talk about mental health, that's what I would worry about.
I mean, I think that that's a really good point. I will say that I ride for Sierra in a way where I've seen the way that she has had to move on this show, and she's talked about it. She apparently talked about it on Carl's podcast. She talked
Mhm.
about it 2 episodes ago
She
as
did
a
a
Black
really good
woman.
job on that podcast.
You like just
That
talking
episode was really good. Sorry.
talking about what it's like to be the first Black woman on this television show and dating interracially and what
Hmm.
that means and how it's not just something as simple as, oh, I date a white guy. It's that you're letting these white people clown you. And
Hmm.
who are the two white people that have clowned her? It's the two people that have claimed to be the closest to her, right? And I think that part of it is the reason why I'm so mad for Sierra. I'm also mad for her because I've seen how she's been used almost as a prop. Like I said,
Yeah.
she came in first season as Luke's ex-girlfriend, and we
Hmm.
were all like, why is Sierra being friendly with Hannah? But if you think about it from her perspective, she doesn't want to be placed as the person who's being used as like a jealousy pawn with Hannah, right? She
Right.
went in being like, we dated the same guy, but like I can still be your friend.
Hmm.
But I think about it and it's like, as a person who has moved in white spaces for most of my life, there are parts of me that I didn't quite understand until I started being friends with more brown people. I think that all people of color, but I've seen this with black people, whatever, but like all people of color, when we are in predominantly white spaces, we tend to mute ourselves or make ourselves feel smaller or make ourselves less problematic or make
Hmm.
ourselves less emotional because we don't want to be perceived as some stereotype of our community,
Hmm.
right? And I
Hmm.
think about Sierra and how she had to move when she came in on the show, how
But
she had
also,
to
if you
move.
don't have anybody reinforcing the perspective that you have,
Yep.
and you're the only one having that perspective, it gets easily dismissed as well. And so, if you have experienced that dismissal over and over and over again in a predominantly white space,
Yep.
then you tend to not speak up until there's a few other people that agree with you, that can reinforce and say, they can be that sounding board for you, and can also reiterate what you're saying to the rest of the group and say, I agree, this is what I feel as well. And then it becomes real.
Yeah, I mean, I see the way that she changed when, like, even Maya was on the show, right?
You're
I
right.
wish that she could have been closer to Gabby. I think
Yeah.
Gabby and Lindsay, like, that
Yeah.
was a weird dynamic because,
Right.
like, Lindsay had replaced Danielle with Gabby.
Gabby,
And so
which
that
was
was like
also weird. Like,
which
we
was
were
also
like, why?
strange.
So you brought up Gabby over, and now Gabby is being used, and Sierra is being used as this other friend. But Sierra and Gabby don't have a natural connection.
It was
It was
very
like it was
strange.
like Gabby and Sierra's situation reminds me of Garcelle and Bo,
Yeah.
right? Because they are like two black women. They were brought in as friends of to these other white women, and that's how they were held until Garcelle was walked away, and then now
Yeah.
Bose Bose is the center of the group
I
now.
mean, I
Right.
think I think that with Sierra, how these people have treated her, right?
Hmm.
Like Luke, who handsome and beautiful and
Hmm.
smells great, as we both know personally,
Yes.
firsthand experience.
It just came back.
But like Luke brought her in that way,
Hmm.
Austin, the way he treated her, even how, Paige sort of used Sierra in a way in a fight against Lindsay, right? Like
Hmm.
Paige and Amanda used Sierra and her hatred, her whole situation with Austin
Hmm.
as a reason for her to fight with Lindsay.
Hmm.
And I think that even in this
And then she
situation
was
with
dragged into the whole Craig and Austin situation as
right,
well, and
and
through
also
Winter House and all of that drama. Ugh.
so then you look at West, and West comes in and he starts to use her as a storyline. He used her again last season as a storyline. And then this season, he says, I only have a crush on her at nighttime.
I missed that.
He said, I only like her at nighttime. She's only an
Mhm.
after hours crush, right? We also have
When
seen
did he
Austin.
say that? I would have
He's,
punched his
yeah,
face.
yeah. He also,
So when
like,
he's drunk and horny.
right, exactly. And that's even the way that Jesse was like, can I kiss her? Can I make out with her drunkenly as a joke? And Sierra was like, I'm not a joke. And she's talked about it a few times on podcasts to say, I'm more than just a hot woman.
Hmm.
Like, talk to me about the things that you like about me. Like, people are like, Sierra should be on The Bachelorette. Why?
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 Why? Release us from the shackles of
She should be on the pit,
Christo-fascism.
is what she should be. She should
She
be
should be
actually
on the pit.
pit.
She should be on the pit as Dr.
She,
Robbie's next girlfriend because Dr. Robbie loves melanin.
no, I think she should be on the pit as this,
As
as
a nurse, as
Mateus girlfriend.
oh, there you go. I'm like a few episodes
I want
behind.
to do a
A night shift.
night shift. I've been putting in every forum that I can that they should have a night shift.
You're
I
like,
go
what?
on Reddit everywhere. I'm like, they should do a night shift show. Like they should end the day shift and then the next episode. You know how Survivor does two roll every year? They do
Yeah.
two seasons. I want like one season
The
of
day
day
shift
show
and the
and
day.
one season of the night show. And I want because I love Dr. Ellis.
I,
The
yeah, the black.
so
Oh my
hot.
God, she's so hot.
She's so hot.
She's so hot. Okay.
Yeah. So I
Anyway,
would love for Sierra to be on the night shift.
yeah, she should be. She should be on the pit. She should do
Yeah.
everything that she can. I mean, Sierra found out apparently about this before she was on the red carpet for that Apple TV show, which is why she looked at John Hamm. John Hamm said, "Hey, how are you doing?" And she said, "Well, I've been better."
Yeah.
So that was the night before the statement came out, right?
Yeah.
I think that the reason why she had this like big reaction
Yeah.
is because I think if you think about Sierra's evolution from who
Mhm.
she was when we first met her on the show to who she is now, you've really seen her come into her own, right? Like
Mhm.
Amanda's version of coming into her own is centered around a man.
Mhm.
And Sierra's version of coming into her own is asking people to remove her from associating with a man,
Mm.
constantly asking to be removed from association with
Yeah.
a man. And like talking about buying her grandparents' house, like who
That
she
was
is
an
as a person.
amazing revelation. I'm like, oh, I want to know more about that.
Right. So like I think
HGTV better be there with her.
I mean, and again, you see how she is with like KJ and Mia, and you just see her light up, right?
Mhm.
Again, I'm saying this because when you're a person of color and you're predominantly around white people, it's not until you're with people like yourself that you realize all the ways that you've made yourself quiet and all
Mhm.
the ways that you've muted yourself, right? And I love that Sierra's like at the Grammys, and I also think that she's really come into her own after Traders. Like I think
Mhm.
she did amazing at Traders, and I think people
Right.
really loved her from that.
And she was
Right?
there without any of these fools, and she held
Exactly.
her own there. And and to some extent, like talking about being around people that understand. I know that one of the before the this conversation from this season with KJ and Mia, the conversation that you and I talked a lot about was the
Yeah.
Sierra and Danielle conversation about the
Yeah.
hair and on the beach. And I
Yeah.
remember us saying, finally, Danielle is being useful here, where she's like actually paying attention and
Yes.
being an ally and all of that. And, that only lasted so long because Danielle has her own issues, and
Yes.
and that also kind of highlights the differences
Yes.
between different kinds of brown people, right?
Yeah.
Danielle had her own. Danielle was also brought on as the Hispanic one, right?
Yes.
And she had her own things that she needed to overcome, and that she
Yep.
was never given a platform where she could highlight that part of her. And she
Yeah.
never had a partner to talk about all of those things with.
Yeah.
So, to some extent, Danielle was used by the show as well. And so having her and Sierra finally talk to each other about those issues was so fun for the two of us to listen to. But it
Yeah.
also gives an insight to all the other white show members, that the cast, that it's so different
Yep.
between we are not a monolith, even
Yep.
with an all brown and with an all black and all
Yep.
of those things. We're not a monolith, and it's so funny that unless you have enough number of us in a show, you will never see the different, you'll never see the depth of our cultures or our upbringing ever, because we have to
Yeah.
then play up to the level or play down to the level of whatever the predominantly white group is doing.
Yeah. I also just love the way that the entire cast has now currently like they're riding for Sierra.
I'm so glad.
KJ was brought on by West. KJ no longer follows West.
Hmm.
Mia no longer follows West.
I'm
I don't.
so impressed with KJ, and I'm so happy. He was so quiet and so shy, and I was like, he's gonna go down the way of all these one-time guys that come in,
That
they
turned
can't
into
quite
furniture in the
gel,
house.
but the fact, by merely saying what he was feeling and saying that,
Mhm.
instead of just saying I'm anxious, I'm anxious, I'm anxious, he told us why he was anxious, and he brought the race conversation
Yep.
so strongly around the dinner table, and just that one conversation flipped the table for me for KJ, because now he's so much more confident and so much more comfortable being on camera.
Yeah. I also noticed like I didn't watch the full episode, but I watched that clip of when Sierra tells the whole house like that she's bought at breakfast she's telling them like I bought my grandparents' house.
Hmm.
Mia says, "I just want to tell you I'm really proud of you,"
Yeah.
right? I don't remember on the show when those types of words are being said to Sierra or frankly to anybody, right? Like
Hmm.
this is not a show where we're talking about how people should be proud of each other, right? I
Hmm.
don't think that we see that very often because like KJ said, or even the way Kyle said when KJ brought up that race conversation is Kyle says, I don't have to think twice about how I behave on
Yeah.
camera. I just do it, right?
Yeah.
Whereas
Which is huge on Kyle's part, by the way. That again, I applaud Kyle for that, because the fact that he recognized that he can go off, he can
mhm,
shout, he can throw a tantrum, he can throw stuff around the house, he
yep,
can call people names, pee on the bushes, and get away with it, and nobody's ever going to judge him or think of it as aggressive. While whereas KJ could do the same things and it would be considered aggressive
yeah.
and dangerous, is something that I'm glad Kyle said those things and acknowledge that that is the right way to acknowledge what
Yeah.
is going on. But Kyle saying, don't cyberbully Amanda. I
Well,
mean,
let's talk about that.
you fuck around, you find out. I mean,
K-
she is a
Kyle
public person. She can turn off her phone and not be bullied anymore.
Yes. Okay. So Kyle was seen on the sidewalk talking to Paps so long that his dog had to shit on the sidewalk. But in it, he's saying a few things. He's like, I didn't know about it. I found out. I pieced things together. It sounds like he just recently found out. Da da da. All this stuff. But they're like, where are you with Amanda? And he's like, I still talk to Amanda. She's really, really upset and
Yeah.
she's in a really bad place. And I think that people should stop cyberbullying. And he keeps saying how West Wilson is like a manipulator and
Yeah.
he's like some sort of like charming charm man. I'm like,
Yeah.
that blonde Groucho Marx ass bitch. You,
Because here, Kyle is making it all about himself, because apparently he and West went on multiple different shows together, and he went to West's home. He was
okay,
riding horse
wait,
with West like just
pause,
2 weeks
pause,
ago. Blah blah blah.
pause, time out.
Yeah.
Wes, I it sounds to me like Wes' biggest move is he just takes people to meet his parents and ride horses. Like he did it with Sierra, he did it with Amanda,
Mm-hmm.
and then he did it with
Mm-hmm.
Kyle.
Well,
Like that's his thing. He's like
Kyle is feeling
70%.
just as betrayed as Sierra.
Yeah, he's like, I
I
met your
met your
parents
father. I met your parents. What
and your
happened?
horse. I don't understand. It's like 90% of his personality is just like taking people. He's like, I have parents and horses. But, I think Kyle, he's definitely making it about himself. I saw this article, which I think I saved it. It was so funny. Cara Berry also pointed it out. It was hilarious. We're like, it was like inside sources say that Kyle says he's over it, but he can't stop talking about it. Hold on, I have
The
to
other
read
thing that Kyle keeps mentioning while you're pulling that article is that
it.
West got, like, how can West get 50,000 more, followers after this? And I'm like, Kyle, you just trying to sell that lover boy? And he's like, Kyle is just upset that he didn't get as many followers
This is so
as
funny.
West. And I'm also thinking, like, the way Kyle approached the guy on the street and the way he's talking and all of that, Kyle is so relaxed. And that time, he's not showing the distress that he claims to be. And I feel like he's just relieved. He's like, I was going to be on the hot seat, and now it's Amanda. I don't like this
Okay.
happened before the reunion, and I don't have to be the bad guy anymore. I can just
Okay.
apologize and move on.
Wait, I have to read it too. This is so funny. Okay. We're told Kyle has seen all the rumors swirling online, but when he directly approached both his ex-wife and his best friend multiple times, they shut it down and denied anything was going on. Still, it's clearly not sitting right with Kyle because our sources say Kyle insists to friends that it doesn't bother him, but then keeps circling back to the topic again about it, talking about it again and again and again, and harping on how unhappy he is with the
Now,
situation.
like the other thing that upset me was like if I'd known this was gonna drop, I would have gone to Kyle's show in Charleston because I was in Charleston
You
the night
were
he came. I was
there.
there, but it was like I couldn't drag my rest of my friend group because they don't watch any of these shows. They don't know what this is about, and they were like, it's too far, and we don't want to go to the other club." They wanted to go to Republic because they had heard about Republic, and we went there. I was a shitty DJ and wasn't even nice. And I was like, what are we doing here? I need to
You
be in
mean to tell me
person.
you didn't see DJ Maddie Reese?
No, she was on Saturday and we didn't go there on Saturday.
Oh my god.
I know.
Did
We
you
went
see
on
any
a
other
Thursday and a
cuties at
Friday.
Republic?
And
How was the
we
food
went
at
Thursday and
Republic?
Friday and it was what?
How was the food at Republic?
I didn't eat food in Republic.
How were the drinks at
The
Republic?
drinks were good. The drinks were
Okay,
good. I didn't
fine.
eat at Republic. I went for the after food.
Okay,
We went
fine,
to some
fine.
really good restaurants. We ate a lot in really good restaurants.
That would have been amazing if you were
It
there
was.
and you saw Kyle
But
like
I would have
grumbling
been
on the
like,
side.
if Ray had told me, if Tom Hamlet had told me,
If
if
I
you
had
had
told
told
you.
me, I would have gone up to Kyle and I would have gone up to Kyle and used my credentials as a Crappens fan.
Now hold on. I have to say about Kyle. So Kyle in this thing is like, guys, stop following Wes. Like, how did he get 50,000 more followers? Everybody needs to stop following Wes. He's like gonna manipulate all of us, and he's like, he's even manipulating my wife. I was like, not your wife. So here's my theory about what's
Hmm.
gonna happen.
They're gonna get back together.
Kyle and Amanda are getting back together. They get knocked up
Kyle
by
is gonna
Labor
forget.
Day.
Yeah.
They're knocked up pregnant by Labor Day, baby.
No,
I think
no.
so.
Kyle, don't. Get rid of Amanda. Get rid of
He wants
Loverboy.
to
Get
be
rid of your
no.
music career, your
No, I'm
DJ
telling
career.
you. I'm telling
Go
you.
take care of your
He
aging parents because they are disappointed in you right now. There's way too much stress in Kyle's life. He needs to not do any of these things.
no. I'm telling you, this woman is in the worst shape possible, and he is in her ear being like, "You're getting manipulated by West." Because now we're also seeing like West has apparently just been hooking up with women from the East Coast to the West Coast. Every city is like, "Yeah, I fucked him last week." Like he was just here 4 days ago. I fucked him. And so I feel like now he's like, Amanda, like he's not even serious about you. Like what? And then she's like, Kyle, I don't know my mental health. They're cyberbullying me. And then
Um,
he's just gonna swoop in because Kyle wants to take care of Amanda. He wants to be her number one boy.
no. He doesn't. He doesn't. He wants to be redeemed as the good husband. That's
Yeah.
all. He
Yeah.
doesn't want to take care of Amanda. He never did. He wants someone to take care of him. So Kyle is the baby, okay? His
He's a
parents so let's
baby.
talk about Kyle and his parents. His parents are much older. They had him when they were much older. They're in their
Yeah.
80s if I'm not
They're in their
mistaken, 80s
80s.
or
Yeah.
90s.
Well,
And so they had him very late. So he was the baby to quote unquote grandparents, right? So
yeah.
he has been babied. He needs someone to take care of him. And Amanda liked to play housewife, so she did for a while, but she wasn't getting. She wanted to have fun the way she wants to have fun, and she didn't want to have any of the stress that comes with trying to run a business and all of that. And Kyle wanted to be baby too, so it's like they are not good for each other, anyways. But
They're gonna do
Kyle
it.
doesn't want to get back with her to take care of her. Kyle wants to get back with her so he can redeem himself in the eyes of the viewers and get back his followers and stay on this show for a little while longer.
I think that Kyle and Amanda are going to get back together. I think that West is going to pivot full MAGA town. I think if Kyle and Amanda don't get back together, Amanda's going to go trad wife and West is going to go conservative sports guy.
Mm,
Because that's where you go.
yeah.
He's going to go in the way of the Southern Charm Boys. He's going to
Mm,
be on, Amazon Lives with Tommy Lahren or whatever.
yeah.
And
Meanwhile, nobody's going to care about Sierra. These people, these three people are not going to care about Sierra.
no,
And
they don't care about Sierra.
I just want Sierra to move on and not care about them ever,
Listen,
ever, ever. And I don't want Sierra to ever care about any of these people. And she needs to be surrounded by aunties, a bunch of black
aunties.
aunties,
Yeah.
that just feed her with a lot of confidence, energy, tell her how beautiful she is, how accomplished she is, and really celebrate her. And that's what she needs. I need Sierra to
Yeah.
move in with me so I can do that to her.
You got it. And then you're gonna be like, let's pitch you as the lead on the Pit Night
Pit,
Time show.
yes. Let's go on every Facebook
It's gonna be
page.
called
There's
Pit PM. Like
Pit
an
PM. That's
Advil
what they're
PM.
calling it. Pit PM. That's what they're like online. Everybody's like, we need a Pit PM.
And let me project manage it. So I will be the PM for Pit PM.
There you go.
There you
There
go.
you go.
Done. I want Sierra to get the best of everything. I don't.
Mhm.
I hope at the reunion that I want her to stay. It's like two things. It's like I want her to stay cool, calm, and collect because I think that she shouldn't be shedding tears for these people.
No.
At the same time, it's like as a not black, like I'm tired of telling black women how they should be processing their feelings. So I feel like if she wants to sob about it, she can and should. But at the
I
same
think Sierra
time,
is a angry, like a sobber when she's angry too. She's like me. I mean, I'm high when I have an emotion of any kind that is like more than my base level emotion. I
yeah.
cry, but it doesn't mean that I'm crying because I'm sad. Most of the time, I'm crying because I'm mad. But it's not something that I don't want anybody to feel sorry for me. It just comes. It's a physical reaction and it just comes. But I really want Sierra to like really tear into both of them, but do it in a very calm and channel some Page.
Channel Page,
Channel Page
get in
as you
there.
tear them to pieces.
Also, like maybe let them do the talking for you. Let Lindsay
Let the
Hubbard
rest of them tear everybody else.
okay,
Yeah.
one of the funniest things in that sidewalk interview is Kyle at home goes, Carl's a mess.
Carl's a mess.
Why is Carl a mess?
Why is Carl a mess?
Carl's like, I'm getting more business at Soft Bar than I've ever had in my life.
Why would I be a mess? Everyone wants to come to Soft Bar to talk about Amanda and West.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope that they all just ride for her. And what I don't want is for it to turn into, oh, Amanda's mental health and Amanda's mental health. It's like Sierra also has mental health issues, like we all do. And the reality is that none of you cared about Sierra's mental health. So now I don't care about your mental health. I'm not saying that you should hurt yourself or that you should, be harmed in any way. But I think you should go away.
Go have more sex. Enjoy.
Yeah. Go enjoy yourselves.
Yeah.
You losers.
Yeah.
This is loser behavior.
Somebody
said online, Amanda's a loser and West is a loser. And they really are. It's loser behavior.
Jesse's a loser.
We're not talking about Jesse. Of course, Jesse is, of course. They're all. But Amanda and West are losers.
The only two people that I care about are Lindsay Hubbard and Sierra.
Did you see the clip of Detective Dowdy and Sherlock Hubbard?
That's awesome.
Together.
Can you imagine a show together, the two of them together?
When
they need to be together doing something together.
Let me tell you something. When I am watching clips of Amanda lie to me and try to figure out her tell, I really am channeling my inner Hub House, Mother Hubbard and Mama Doty.
Yeah.
That's who I'm trying to be.
Yeah.
What did she say? She's an
best friends with Doty and Hubbard.
Oh my God. One time.
The three of you?
One time Lindsay was in my town getting bagels or something.
When she was dating the guy that dated Giselle. What's his name?
Yeah, something like that. And
she was at his sister-in-law's or something like that.
Something like that.
I was in your house when that was happening.
You were in my house.
No, like, let's go for bagel.
Let's go get bagels. And then she was like gone. It was like she was there and then she was gone. She poofed away.
Yeah.
But when she was here, I was like, oh my God, if I ran into her, I'd be terrified of her. It's like the way when I ran into the Workus twins twice in Paris on two different occasions in two different places in the city. I was like, I'm scared.
Well, they're a little taller, much
They're
taller than you and scarier than you.
those are
They're like
scary white
thoroughbred
women.
horses that can
No, they
kick you.
really are. They're thoroughbred horses, so workuses. I was so scared. I was like, ah! Don't make eye
I've
contact.
run into Bethany twice in airports, and both times I was like, ah! The person that the person that I was intimidated and the most, but in the most beautiful way, because I was like enthralled and I couldn't speak because my jaw was on the floor, was Lupita Nyong'o.
Oh, I mean, yeah, of course.
She was going from the inside, like you. It was
Yeah.
like ethereal.
Yeah.
She walked in front of me, and she was like ethereal. I've never seen anybody glow like that. Ugh,
Wow.
she's just beautiful.
I've seen Kyle Cook glowing from his eyeballs from the amount of
Oh my
drugs that he
God.
takes. So, okay. Well, I think we covered it all. I mean, let me just, you know what? Let me just pop over open threads and see if there's any new information because the
Mm.
information is rolling in.
Yeah, it's been coming in fast and
Okay.
furious.
Okay. Well, okay. It turns out that she has unfollowed Amanda and West. She
Mm-hmm.
is following Sierra. And now the rumors are that she is going to hook Sierra up with Michael B. Jordan, which I support. Of
I
course.
support too.
Why wouldn't
I
I?
support too. I mean, Sierra before Kim Kardashian for sure.
Oh, for sure. Okay. Okay,
Because
let's
did you see that
see.
when Kim Kardashian was hitting up on Michael B. Jordan? He was like, "No, I'm good."
Yeah, of course.
He
He's
was like,
like,
"Nah,
"No, I'm from New
good."
Jersey. I know exactly what you are."
Yeah.
Let's see. Is there anything new? Uh I don't know. I don't think that there's anything new
Mm,
that's really coming out here. I'm not
we did
seeing
it. We
anything.
did it. You got through the anger and you got through all of the frustration. You got through all of your notes.
Yeah, I did. I think that I've covered it all. I'm not seeing any hot new news.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So Team
People are
Sierra.
just People are just realizing that West has sucked from day one, which I do have to again raise importantly because I clocked it.
You
I said
did,
so.
and
I
everybody
said
hated
so.
on you. Everybody hated on you, and
Everyone got mad at me.
the minute that happened, I was like, "Oh, she's gonna gloat now. She's gonna gloat. She did it. She's
Yeah.
gonna throw it in everyone's faces." And of course, you did.
And I did. And somebody commented on threads being like, someone said that he walks like a toddler. Who was that? And I was like, it was me. I
Me,
got
me,
that.
me, me, me.
I got death threats because they were like, how dare you? I'm going to call, and people always are like, you're a fat, ugly bitch. And I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, I am, but he still looks like a toddler. They were like, is it because nobody likes you? And I was like, no, I wish people liked me less, actually. I have some voice notes that I'm going to pop at the end of this episode. Actually, you know what? Let's listen to one together.
Mhm.
It's from Chelsea, beloved
Mm,
Chelsea, original DMV diva. I
mhm,
actually didn't even listen to it until I told her I wouldn't until I started recording. So let's listen
mhm.
to this voice note together.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Chelsea. I'm whispering partly because I did play BB40 last weekend, patreon.com/I am the cute one. I'm not sure I will ever speak in an appropriate register of my voice ever again. My brain is permanently broken along with my voice box, but I'm also whispering because it's spring break and my daughters are feral. So I am currently hiding in a bathroom, giving my summer house thoughts. I wish I could be there with you, Nor, on the podcast, but you know how it be. So here are a few of my thoughts. Number one, hey everybody, this is crazy, right? But let's stop being fucking weird. Let's stop being weird. These people aren't in our friend groups. They don't know who we are. We can be outraged. We can be hurt for Sierra. We can think that Kyle is a piece of shit. And also, Amanda, baby girl, what you doing? You wanted to get away from one forever Peter Pan just to hop in bed with another one? Give him 5 years and guess where you'll be? Right back where you started. If Amanda was in my friend group, you bet your bottom dollar the group chat would be lit. We would be casting her off the island. She would be done. But here's a couple things. Number one, we know Amanda's not a girl's girl. The girls have always had her back, but what has she done consistently? Thrown Lindsay under the bus, taken the side of every man against.
This is what we talked about.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know why people are surprised. Also, thank God Sierra is getting the edit she deserves this season, because I'm looking sideways at a bunch of people right now who are up in arms, who are ready to take up the torch for Sierra. Rightfully so. Let's be clear. Team Sierra all day, every day. Anybody who's out here saying Team Kyle, oh no. The internalized misogyny got you again. But of course, in this house, we believe in science and we believe in Sierra. Thank God she's getting the edit she deserves this season, because I'm looking at a lot of people around here who had a lot to say about Sierra in seasons past. And thank God we've developed empathy. Thank God we've developed a way of looking at Sierra and saying, oh, wow, a fully formed human being. She has thoughts and feelings too. She protects herself, and that doesn't mean she's not feeling. I'm sorry, I'm on a soapbox, but Bravo, get it together. And Bravo fandom specifically, get it together. We can be outraged, we can be Team Sierra, and we can also, not be fucking weird. Anywho, listen to TGIF, and I'll be giving more of my thoughts there. Love ya. Oh, let me land this ship. Let's bring the plane home, Chelsea. Just who was that guy that the geese went into the wind propeller? What's his name?
Sully.
Captain Sully.
I'm Sully. I'm landing the plane safely for everybody
What's
to
the
go.
guy?
My original point was, we can think all of these things. Yes, that's crazy. Also, concerned for Amanda that this is going to be her first relationship out of a 10-year toxic relationship. Also, West, he plays the aw shucks card, and that fools a lot of us for a lot of the time. We saw how he treated Sierra. Why are we surprised now? He's a fuckboy, just of a different kind. We can think all of these things. We can be outraged for Sierra. We can have our feelings hurt for Sierra. And at the end of the day, we gotta be just less weird. Just be less weird, Bravo community. We can think all of these things and not need to send death threats or pull up a full dissertation about how historian Summer House Sierra has done X, Y, and Z. I don't know. I'm losing the plot now, but just less weird. Oh, and obviously, it goes without saying, of course, race plays a part. So I'm not discounting any of the very valid think pieces. Okay, bye. Love you.
Too late.
Too late. Too late. We did a dissertation. We did a think piece. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think we did it. I think there's nothing more to say. There's no new information. Now Dumois is saying they got a message that Sierra had hired a private investigator. Guys, please. Don't be annoying. Yeah. Don't be annoying, okay? Somebody saw those two idiots canoodling because they weren't smart about it, and
she just wanted to know who was lying to her. But other than that, she didn't care as much about either of them. And then there's also rumors that she had started hanging out with West again, and they were going to go out again. And then West was also having an affair with was in a committed relationship with another girl. All of that, who cares? It was not.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? Yeah. So what? Who cares?
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, Aarti, thanks for being here.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad I could hop on and listen to you.
I feel a little less like that I'm on a boat today. Yesterday, full boat. Yesterday, I was like, oh, no, I'm on a boat. If I was covering below deck, I would have been in great shape.
Yeah.
But not for Summer House, where they are often at the beach.
Yeah.
On land. Did you see that the house is going on sale? Should I buy it?
I heard that. No, it's surrounded by Kyle peeing. All I can think about is the entire fence has been peed on by Kyle. There's way too much Kyle DNA on the grounds.
They better put that in the inspection. They should be like, whoever buys this house, there's so much human piss all over that house.
It's like you have to enzyme treat the entire